This is the Best or Worst Podcast. And now, here are your hosts, Koji Steven Sakai and M. Martin Mapoma.
Welcome. This is Koji.
And this is Martin.
Why did you use a funny voice? All right.
What?
This is episode...
It's not a funny voice.
This is episode number 40. We've hit the big 4-0, so we're really excited. This is, we've gone a long time with this. I think it's almost been a year, so we're excited about that. A couple housekeeping things I want to tell people. First of all, we have a brand new website. It's called www.bestorworstpod.com. It's exciting. It has all our episodes there. It has all our videos, everything you ever needed. If there's an episode that you want to see that you didn't get to see, or you want to check out what they look like or what people look like, if you want to get a good look at me, then you can go ahead and go to that website and check it out. Also, can I do a quick plug? Real quick, Martin?
You didn't say anything about me getting a good look at me, but go ahead.
Oh, nobody wants to get a good look at you. But okay, so I just started a new screenwriting class on Udemy, which is an online teaching tool. It's 4.5 hours of screenwriting lessons for me teaching you. So I teach at UCLA, I teach at New York Film Academy, I teach at Chapman, I teach at a bunch of places, and I'm basically using the same thing I teach there at those places to teach you guys how to write. It's really, really cheap. It's $19.99. 4.5 hours of content. There's a lot of exercises, a lot of work, and obviously I'd be available. If you buy the class, I'll be available to answer any questions for you. But check that out on Udemy. Look me up, Koji Steven Sakai, Screenwriting 101. All right,
Koji, one more time. How much is it again?
Well, right now, there's a bunch of sales. This is going to come out in like a bunch of weeks. So I'm not sure what it's going to be the price, but it's going to, the normal price is $19.99.
Okay.
Hit me up. I'll put a special on the, I'll put a special down below in the comments, and I'll actually make it $9.99 for you guys. So if you're listening to this episode, it'll be $9.99. Coupon code will be below in the notes. So that's it. Those are the two things. I've done 10 episodes of different things, and I've yet to ever talk about it. So I need to kind of talk about it right away before I forget. All right. Well, we have a guest today, so it's really exciting. We have a guest, Mr.
Sure do.
Mike Medina. Mike, how are you?
Big Mike.
I'm doing good. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
I remember the first time that you showed up at, we met you through our Brazilian Jiu Jitsu class with my son. And I remember the first time you were in class, and it was hilarious because you had like a mohawk, and you were like, and you tatted. And I remember thinking like, who's this dude? Who's this dude teaching our kid? But then the moment you started working with the kids, it was clear that you have a really great relationship with kids, and you know how to deal with kids. Because, just from the looks, it's just like, I don't know about this dude. And then all of a sudden,
I was personally a lot more inclusive and understanding. This guy. He seems like a great guy. He must love kids.
I was not inclusive.
For the record, my kid is there too, okay?
Yeah.
So I
was not inclusive. But then the first moment you opened your mouth and the way you're able to deal with kids, you could tell that you, A, have a lot of experience teaching, but B, you have experience with kids and you have a good rapport with kids. You're not like too easy where people are taking advantage of you, the kids take advantage of you, but you're also not so tough that you make it not fun for the kids, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, he's a great coach. Working with children is a talent that a lot of people don't have. I work with kids as well, besides doing this. I have my own company, Primal Play. But watching Mike is amazing. And the kids really gravitate towards you, Mike. And it's always been a great thing to see. We were really depressed when you left.
Yeah, I'm definitely depressed.
Yeah. I do. I love working with kids, and I always try to be a positive role model and make it fun for them. I don't ever want to teach and have kids not enjoy it, right? Like I don't want to go today, professor's too hard on me or whatever. I try to make it fun, so when they come back, I'm more of like a friend and coach. So
yeah.
And you're a black belt. You're a black belt. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu?
I've been doing jiu-jitsu about 13, 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, I just came up on my 2-year anniversary of my black belt, so that was nice.
Congratulations.
I saw that.
And you did Muay Thai before too, right? Or what did you do before?
I did. I taught Muay Thai in Albuquerque, and I also, as a youngster, I did boxing as well. I was a New Mexico Silver Glove champion when I was 9 years old.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I've always kind of just been dabbling in martial arts and stuff like that. So it was nice to make the transition to California, because I'm from a small town in New Mexico. And jiu-jitsu was really all that I had. So once I went through my divorce, I really had nothing else going for me. So I just made the move and, try to better my life. So.
And you said you're from New Mexico? What part of New Mexico again?
I was from Rio Rancho, New Mexico.
And where's
It's a
that?
little suburb of it's a suburb of Albuquerque.
Okay.
Rio Rancho.
Rio Rancho, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it was a nice place. Good place to grow up. So I'm pretty lucky.
And now you're in Maryland. What are you doing in Maryland?
I'm in Maryland. My wife's in the Air Force, so now we're just making our rounds. This is where she's stationed for the next 2 yeyears. So we'll be here, and then we're going back to Monterey. So I'll be kind of back on that side shortly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah.
Okay. That's
should
awesome.
be pretty cool.
How's the little lady? How's the little girl?
She's doing great. She's doing great. No school right now, so we're kind of doing the homeschool thing, and keeping her busy and trying to keep her going with the whole learning process. So it's not easy, but got to do what you got to do. So
that's awesome. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Martin.
No, I was just gonna say I saw a picture of you guys you posted a while ago. She's getting big, man.
I know, man. They grow like weeds, so it's like I try to cherish every moment while I have her this small. So.
What is she, 6 or 5?
She's gonna be 6, July 24th. So coming up.
Oh wow,
6, so.
that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
well, that's awesome, dude. That's awesome. Koji, you were gonna say something?
I was just gonna ask a question about So right now, are you teaching jiu-jitsu, or are you just?
Right now, I'm doing privates. I have a couple Air Force students that I'm doing privates with. But other than that, I'm kind of just trying to keep safe. Because I know the COVID's on a rise here now out in this area, so I'm just trying to be careful.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna start back training tomorrow. I'm gonna go to a gym and kind of see how that's gonna go. So should be pretty fun.
Wow.
Awesome. And so what got you started, and what do you like about jiu-jitsu, and what got you started in it?
Well, I started off in the striking arts, right? And it was I did that for many years, but after a while, getting sparring was the problem, right? I wasn't able to spar every day. So when I first learned jiu-jitsu, we had some wrestlers come in from my town that were state champs and all-American college wrestlers, and I was impressed with their ability to control me. I thought I had really good stand-up, and I had a really good game, but these guys were able to take me down and control me and submit me, and I was like, you know what? That's what I want to learn. So I quit my job, and I went to the local gym, which was a Gracie Baja at the time, and I just started from there and just kept, never looked back, honestly. So
wow.
I was just watching a fight online. The 16-year-old kid fought a 35-year-old guy, and the 16-year-old's a wrestler and a jiu-jitsu guy. And it was hilarious because he brought him down. He put him in I think a rear naked choke. It's hard to tell, but he put him in some kind of choke. And then the guy tapped. The guy was tapping. And then, so the kid eventually lets him go. And the old guy gets up and says, I was tapping. You're supposed to let go. And the 16-year-old, it was a fight. What are you talking about? You don't this is not
exactly.
Wait, it was a real fight?
It was a real fight. And the old guy was like, I was tapping. You didn't let go.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, what? Why would you tap? I don't understand how you tap in a fight.
He tapped because he immediately knew he made a mistake. He grabbed him.
Well, that's what I tell my kid is that, in a fight, if somebody taps, a lot of times jiu-jitsu people, they're so used to letting go that in a real fight, you don't let go unless you want to let go, not because someone's tapping, right? In a jiu-jitsu match, obviously you let go, but in a real fight, you don't let go, right?
No, you don't.
Yeah. Or at least hold it hold it a little longer than normal, right? To just kind of teach them a lesson
Well, until you're in a position where you could control it. I mean, you just let go to let go, but you let go, then you're still in a good position, right? To be able to control the situation.
Exactly. Kind of teach them a lesson, not to do it again, not to bully. And that's a big thing. I've seen a lot of videos where kids get into fights, and they happen to pick a fight with a jiu-jitsu kid or, a martial artist, and it goes really bad for them. So.
Yeah. It's so funny you say that because, Grayson's been in jiu-jitsu for a while, and with you, obviously. And so I've been on YouTube, and a lot of these bully fails that I watch, half of them are some kid who picks on a smaller kid who's actually a jiu-jitsu guy. And, kid throws a punch. And then all of a sudden that, the jiu-jitsu kid grabs his arm, wraps around it, and puts the guy into a submission. And, it's pretty cool to see.
Well, that's the thing about jiu-jitsu, right? It kind of gives you the humbleness. So when you, kids who know jiu-jitsu aren't really bullies, right? It's the kids who bully who don't have the martial art ability, right? So, it's kind of sad, but at the same point, it's nice. It's like that nice medium, right? To kind of put those kids in their place, so now they know not to bully, and because that's a problem, bullying. It's always been, and now with social media, it's even worse, right? Because everyone's got cell phones and they're recording it. And,
it's funny you say that because would it be fair to say that most kids that do jiu-jitsu, don't bully, and if they're found bullying, they're like almost kicked out. Remember that kid that you had a situation with? Remember at
Yes.
our dojo, and he
Yep.
was saying awful things to that other kid. And I mean, I was just sitting there, and the mom didn't want to say anything to you, and I was like, "You got to say something." She's like, "I don't want any trouble." And I told you about it, and the way you handled it was really good. And that kid left, thank God.
Wait,
That
when
was
was this? Was I there?
Yeah, you were there.
Oh, I don't remember this.
I
No,
think
I
what
don't know.
it is it's you know, jiu-jitsu will weed out the kids who are wannabe bullies, right? Like bullies usually can't handle the pressure of being submitted or being dominated, right? So and you can kind of tell when someone's training how they're going to be, you know. So and I don't really tolerate that. Like I was bullied as a youngster, excuse me, and that's why my father put me in boxing, because I was having issues. Growing up, I was the only white kid on my bus out of a bunch of Native Americans.
Wow.
And they didn't like me very much. So I had to, like, I faced a lot of ridicule going to school a lot of the time. So I didn't know how to handle it. I had no one to help me. I had to learn myself and defend myself later on, right? So I mean, that's one thing I never really tolerated, is kids who like to bully other kids, or kids that I'm teaching and giving guidance to bullying other kids. Because when you know jiu-jitsu and you're bullying people, that could be dangerous.
Very dangerous.
So I always would want to eliminate that before it becomes a problem. You know?
Yeah. I remember one of the kids, I had a long conversation with him about, because I think he bit somebody. I don't think you were there, but he bit somebody because somebody was sitting on top of him. And I was trying to explain to him that, like, you know, it's scary having someone on top of you and not being able to do anything. And like I wanted to bite people. I mean, I always want to bite people because it's like, it's the only thing I could do. But then I also know that if they're clearly in a better position than me biting them is probably going to make it worse for me. they're already beating the crap out of me, right? So biting is just going to make it way worse.
Yes,
and so, but it's that person. But people who don't do jiu-jitsu know, like, it's without having somebody on. I mean, like when somebody's so much in control of you, it is scary because you're just like you can't do anything, right? You're just like, I mean, that's what's great when I've sparred with you or any of the other professors. It's like if I know you guys aren't going hard on me, but I know that, like, ultimately I could do, like, I can't, like, you could do anything you want to me and there's nothing I could do about it. I remember Professor Diego once said no, actually it was I think your cousin, right? When everybody got in blue, he said, I'm going to spar with you only with my feet. And he
oh yeah
and then he still beat me, and it was hilarious and it was hilarious. I mean, like, it was awesome because obviously he's really good, but he's also just been doing it for longer and he's better than me. But it was just hilarious that I was like, no way. And then ultimately he won.
Oh, that was great.
But it was hilarious.
Real quick, is your cousin still in LA here?
My nephew Juno.
Nephew.
Yeah, he is. He's in San Diego. He's in San Diego.
That's right,
right
he did go to San Diego.
He's training out there, yeah.
Yeah, he's training out with Legion, so he likes it. So
awesome.
That's
good for him.
Is he still kicking ass?
He is, man. He is. It's just this whole COVID thing's kind of just taken over. So he's just waiting to compete. Waiting to get a fight. So
cool.
Yeah, they're starting the fights.
To open.
There's a tournament coming up in August, but it's funny because I got an email about it, and then but I looked at it. It's only for like teens and adults. And I was like, why did they send me an email if they're
because you're on a list,
right?
I know I'm on the list, but they should put it like based on like the actual people who are competing, because my son's 8, so so it's not like he's going to be in the teen or the adult bracket.
You never know, man.
Right.
He's getting good.
He says, yeah. All right. Well, let's get into this is the moment where we ask our guest about their best or worst moment. So Martin, we both know our guests. So tell us what do you think? Do we want to hear his best or his worst moment?
I want to hear Mike's best moment. He's such a positive guy.
Best moment? Okay. I want to hear his best moment. I want to hear his best moment as well. So, Mike, we're going to ask you what your best moment is. Obviously, please, if you can, tell us your best moment. But obviously, don't, like your daughter being born is obviously going to be your best moment. So we'll just
totally.
We'll cross that off the list of like best moments because we already know that. Or meeting your wife, or obviously those are best moments. But any kind of best moment that outside of those moments. Unless obviously there's something special or new about those moments, then definitely let us know about that. But
you shouldn't open that door because then everyone else is going to take a hold of that one too.
Yeah. So Mike, tell us. So Mike, tell us your best moment.
Probably my best moment would be, after my divorce from my first wife, I went through like a bout of depression, right? And I had to figure out what I had to, like, what I was going to do with my life. So when I moved to California, I was training at multiple gyms, and my goal has always been to be a black belt. Like I knew that was something I was going to see out no matter what and how it was going to happen. So moving to LA and training with Professor Lucas at ZR Team was probably getting my black belt from him was probably my best moment, because not only was it like a goal that I achieved, but it was, you know, I was surrounded by a lot of really good, really positive people, you know, and I was given the opportunity to teach and expand on my teaching, my learning. I made a lot of really good friends. So I could literally say that that's probably one of the best moments in my life. Absolutely, hands down, for sure.
I remember that day when you got your black belt. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
It was.
That was awesome.
It was a big moment, and like, you know, it's like kind of like I'm really emotional, so like I wanted to say a lot, but I was so choked up that everything I wanted to say was like gone, right? So I felt really bad, but you know, it was just, you know, I worked so hard for it. You know, I gave up moving away from my family and giving up on my friends, and just to chase a dream that I didn't know even that I would get one day. But I just, you know, I always believed in the process. You know, I believe if you follow your heart in something, no matter what, it'll lead you to the right stairs to open the door, you know? So
and how
that
long
was definitely a big moment.
And how long did it take you to get your black belt?
Probably about 4 years. Because I was in Sacramento and I was training under Professor Cassio Warnick, and I kind of hit a plateau, and I knew that and my brother had moved to LA, and he told me about Professor Lucas, and I just took a chance. You know, I moved to LA, and you know, with my wife and my daughter, and I, you know, did the same thing, gave up on my friends just to do it again, and you know, it's probably the best move of my life.
Okay, so
by far.
Cool. Just to clarify, Mike, when you say 4 years, 4 years after you got your brown belt.
Yeah.
Okay, so total, how long total was it?
I think it's 13 years, I thought.
So 11 years?
Yeah, about 11 years. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I when I first started jiu-jitsu, I was off and on. I would train for like a year, and then I'd be off for like 3 months. And then, like I said, once I went through the divorce, I had to make a choice. So I knew that the choice was to just dedicate my life to jiu-jitsu at that point. And teaching and learning was really big for me. So it was nice to get that opportunity to teach. And I met you know, like I said, I met a lot of really good people, great kids. It was just a great environment. So I'm very blessed to have had that opportunity, for sure.
That's cool.
So yeah, it was nice.
That's cool. Cody's trying to figure out how it's going to take him to get his black belt.
No, I'm never getting my black belt. It's gonna be like forever.
You're a blue or purple?
I'm a blue.
Blue? Okay.
Stripes do you have, Koji?
Well, I have no stripes. I'm a blue belt.
Oh, okay. So I can catch up.
Okay. I know this whole COVID thing put a stomper on everything.
It really has. And you know, it's funny because your kid Koji is doing jiu-jitsu now. Social distancing. He's not grappling, is he? He's just doing his thing.
No, they have fixed partners.
They have what?
Oh, okay.
Fixed partners. So he has the same partner. He has the same partner every time.
Okay.
Oh, that works out. That's good.
Yeah,
I really miss that location, man. The Pasadena location. I really loved it, man. I mean, obviously because I always see Martin all the time, and Koji would come and train. It was nice. It was really nice, you know, group of guys we had going at the time.
So tell us, how was the world? I mean, did the world change for you? Did your outlook change for you once you became a black belt, or was it just getting the black belt?
It was, you know, it was probably just getting the black belt. I think my outlook was the same, right? Like to me, it's not like it really mattered, but that was a goal that I had, right? So getting it just was like a breath of fresh air, right? Because I knew that everything now was like over. Now I could really like work on developing my game and myself as a black belt. You know, and right after I got my black belt, I competed, and I've never really been good at competition. I've always had like nerve issues and like just a lot on my mind. But as soon as I got it, I felt that you know, I competed right away at black belt. I did fairly well, so it was just nice. You know, my outlook changed as far as like just letting go of everything that I had done in the past. You know, it was like all behind me. Mm-hmm. So it was a nice step forward. So.
That's cool, dude.
I mean, before the COVID thing, were you still competing, or have you taken a break from competing?
I kind of took a break, you know, because once I moved to Monterey, there was really no academies for me to train at out there. So I didn't really have good training out there. So I just took time off, and I kind of just let my injuries heal. Like I had an ankle problem, my fingers were hurt, my back was jacked up. So I had to, like, it was nice to just let my body kind of heal throughout that time. But, you know, having said that, I put on like a lot of weight, you know, eating good out there, and not training was a problem. So
Mike, are you, I was just gonna say, are you sure you're not describing my situation right now?
That's how I am now that we're here. I've been working out. I do privates, and I took up skateboarding with Professor Esteban right when I was down there, because I was gonna take over the Pasadena location right when the COVID hit. So right when I came down there, I trained like 2 classes, and then everything got shut down. So,
wait, what? You came back?
Yeah, I came back.
Yeah, I came back. And when Professor Diego left, I was going to take over Pasadena, and I was super stoked for the 2 months to teach. And then for the 2 months I was there, I was literally stuck in the house. So
oh, man. You know what? I want to say, Koji told me about that. You were coming back.
Yeah. And then
I do remember that. God, I didn't even think about that.
As soon as I left, it opened up. So.
Wow. Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny how people have so many things going on, and then just COVID just shut it down.
Yeah.
I remember that.
But I never let it get to me, right? Like I knew that I had to do something else. Like, you know,
it was not your fault, dude.
I want to be good at a lot of things, so it kind of gave me time to like focus on other things I wanted to do. So it was nice.
Yeah.
But I did miss the training. But luckily, I was living with Professor Esteban, and we trained a lot together. And my nephew came, so we had pretty good training.
You must have had a great. How was it like? What was it like for you to see Este get his black belt? That must have been something.
You know what? It was great, because when I started jiu-jitsu, me and Esteban, I was a 4-stripe blue belt, and Esteban was a white belt, and I met him right out of high school, and like we've been training ever since. He's been a really good friend, a great mentor too. Like he's just a good person. He's really positive.
He really is.
So seeing him get that was really big for me, because when he was in New Mexico, I was like, man, you gotta move out of there, right? Like you could do so much more with your abilities, because the way he does jiu-jitsu is not like anyone else. You know, he has a very special talent. So, and I invite him to move with us. I was like, bro, just train. You know, Professor Lucas is a good guy. ZR team's a great team. And when we were there, it was like Professor Gabriel, Lucas, Diego, Juno. There was Lucas Patasi. Like there were so many guys that we had training then, and it was just such a good atmosphere to bring him in as well. Yeah. It was amazing. Like the team was just, I had some of the best roles, some of the best conversations. You know, that's where I learned my little bit of Portuguese that I learned. So it was nice.
And Professor Esteban his nickname is the Giant Killer. So
he's
the
Giant Killer.
The Giant Killer. His fights are amazing. I show Takao all the time. Oh, I said his name. Oh no. No, but his fights are amazing. I would love because Este's funny, because you feel like I have him in something. I mean, obviously no, but,
you know what?
And then all of a sudden he's like he's just out of it. You're like, oh, this is crazy.
It's so funny. Esteban is, you know, and because I've been there since you guys both got there, and you came first, and then Esteban showed up. He has to be one of the most humble guys I have ever met in my life, and it's unbelievable. He's so humble. He's very quiet. He defers to everyone. He lets everyone speak, and he has such a great quality, and it's almost as if he would just be passed over, because you know he doesn't make himself a big presence, but he gets on that mat and starts rolling, and you watch him, and it's like, what? I'll never forget when I started taking. By the way, I don't know if you know this, but I started taking jiu-jitsu.
Oh yeah, no, you know what? I saw that.
Yeah, I did.
I was super proud, because I remember for the longest time I was like, "Come on, Martin, come train." You're like, "I will one day. I will one day."
And Koji kept badgering me. Koji kept badgering me. Everyone kept badgering me. And I started doing it, and I got to tell you, it's been amazing. And again, I started taking it, and I got hurt almost immediately.
Yeah, that's what happens.
It happens. It happens.
But yeah, and so when I came back, the time I came back, really come back, COVID thing started. But anyway, that being said, I'll never forget, because Pete, I've known Pete since before, when he was a white belt, and you know, guy's black belt, and Pete is pretty talented too. Pete was in one of our classes, and he was rolling with, I can't remember their names now, a couple other guys, and you know, Esteban was there, and we were switching up partners, and Esteban was basically like, okay, you're gonna go with him, and Pete, you and me are going to go. And the look on Pete's face, he's just like, oh, man.
Yeah.
With Esteban, it was hilarious. As a peak,
Esteban's ability to compete is it's on a whole nother level. You know, like you said, he's the kind of guy that'll like literally take the shirt off his back and give it to you if you're cold, right? But at the same time, he's such a savage in many ways. It's really weird. But you know, that's the way he operates is just and competes is amazing. I mean, there's not a lot of people who have that. I mean, so it's impressive.
So for everybody watching, I'll definitely, or watching or listening, I'll put some links on for Professor Esteban's fights, because you should see his fights, because he's amazing. I mean, he's probably like 5 foot. I don't know how tall he is.
No, he's 4'11".
4'11", and he like beats like people who are 100 pounds heavier, a foot taller, and he's able to dominate them in ways. And a lot of times, if you know anything about jiu-jitsu and you watch this fight, it looks like he's losing. And then all of a sudden, it's just like he gets out of it, and he's able to do it. I watched a fight at Zusa Pacific where he actually had the guy in a leg lock, and the guy you could hear him screaming, and somehow he got out of it, and Este lost, I think, in like a decision, but it just like the guy was like limping off the mat. I was like, you can't win if you're limping off the mat. You know, like that was a victory. I don't care what you say.
And the funny about Esteban is that, you know, I've noticed this, that when he in the videos I've seen him compete in, now when people see him come onto the mat, the big dudes are just like, oh man, they don't take him for granted anymore. They know what's coming.
Exactly.
You know,
and that's the thing. A lot of guys will see his size and they'll go, oh, especially in tournaments, I've seen guys go up against him, and before they fight, they like smile because they're like, oh, this is going to be an easy match. This is going to be an easy win. And it turns out to probably be the worst match they've ever had in their life. Yeah. Because not only are they getting beat, but they're getting beat in front of everyone. And usually all his videos against big people go viral. So it's like, not only are you going to get beat, but you're going to be an example, you know, for everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the guys who are the good black belts now, I think now, I don't know, you can correct me if I'm wrong. When he was a brown belt, it might have been one thing, but if I was a big dude and I was going up against Este as a black belt, I'd be like, something's not right.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. That's 100% truth right there.
Yeah. But
well, Mike, tell us where can people follow you? Where can people see what you're doing, what you're up to? Can they follow you on Instagram?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Mike the Magic _BJJ.
Okay.
I'm pretty active on social media for the most part, and then on Facebook it's just Mike Medina. But there's a lot of Mike Medina, so you got to kind of go through the list.
Well, I'll put a link for everybody. I'll put a link for everybody so they can follow you if they're so inclined.
Perfect.
And Mike, real quickly,
Perfect.
What's up with the skateboards behind you? Are you did you mention about being?
Well, I took up skateboarding, and then I just started to collect skateboards.
Oh, okay.
You know, I just started to collect the ones that I like because a lot of the graphics, they only make one of them. So when I go out and I see a skateboard that's my size, I'll just end up buying it and just holding on to it. Because, you know, if I break a deck, I could just come and put it back together, you know, or sometimes I hang them up. I was getting ready to hang them up, but since we just moved into our new apartment, I was just waiting. So.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Those are cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
That one behind you is really cool. Over your right shoulder.
This one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Inner Demons. It's a Death Wish skateboard. It's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I buy them because you know, I like the artwork, right? Artwork is, you know, it's expressive.
Skater art's
for
amazing.
Me. Yeah, it is. So, you know, I get them, I hang on to them, I'll hang them up, and you know, if I break a board, then I have a board to use. So, you know, it's pretty cool.
Nice.
I got to tell you, Mike, man, seeing you now, we really miss you a lot. You're such a great presence at the gym.
Yeah.
Even for everybody,
thanks,
jiu-jitsu people and non-jiu-jitsu people. You know, you really touch
I really appreciate
touch
that.
a lot of people. You know, it was a big chunk when you were gone. And Este filled in just fine, but you know, it's nice to see you again and to see that you're doing well.
Yeah.
Your wife's doing well, and little lady's doing well too. So I just want to get that out there.
Well,
thank you so much. That means a lot, man. It really does. I really appreciate you guys too having me on. It means a lot to me, you know, to communicate with you guys. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Your stories are the kind of stories that I really, really appreciate, you know, because it's you know, it's just awesome.
Well, thank you, Mike.
Man.
Thank you, Martin.
A lot. Thank you, guys.
And so for everybody who's listening, please rate, review, and subscribe to our podcast, The Best to Worst Pod. Please hit us up on Please hit us up on our social media. It's Best to Worst Pod on Facebook and Instagram is where we mostly focus. And if you need to find out, if you want to watch some of the episodes, you need to find us out, you need to reach out to us. Best place to go is besttoworstpod.com. Also, Martin and I haven't talked about this, but by the time this episode comes out, there will be an audience survey coming out. So please check out our website for the audience survey. Please check out our Instagram, our Facebook for this survey, because it's really important to find out who's listening to us. Tell us what you like about us, what you don't like about us. And so we can improve the show and move on and get even more people listening. So thank you guys for listening.
Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.